So you might have missed it, but last week Nikon made an announcement that somewhat flew under the radar because it seems small now, but has big long-term implications for the creative world. So if you're a creator, whether that's photo or video, it's time to pay attention to Nikon, and here's why. And big thank you to Professional Photographers of America for sponsoring today's video. Join the community of 35,000 photographers and find equipment insurance and business tools for photographers just like you and me. The reason I'm making this video today is for two main reasons. One is because I think Nikon's doing a lot of really cool stuff that is somewhat going under the radar. And two, I made a video about a month ago about why I switched to Nikon, but in that video I spoke mostly about my issues with Leica and why I was leaving that brand, and I didn't really touch on what I see in Nikon and what I see in the future in Nikon and why I'm willing to invest in it. So the first reason that I've switched over to Nikon and why I think a lot of other creators should pay attention to what they're doing is because of the Red acquisition that happened earlier this year. Now, the Red acquisition is cool, and a lot of people were speculating what Nikon was going to do with it, and their first announcement came last week. This is what I was talking about in the introduction. A lot of people didn't know this happened, but Nikon actually announced a new set of LUTs as well as a new Rec. 709 conversion LUT. Now the conversion LUT on the Nikon, when you shoot in a log profile and convert to Rec. 709, has Red's color science in it. And let me tell you, this Rec. 709 profile is much better than the original Nikon one. In my opinion, the original Nikon was way too punchy, and sometimes it was a little bit yellow, and this conversion LUT seems to work a lot better, and I definitely prefer it. Now, on top of the Rec. 709 conversion, Nikon also introduced 4 Red-inspired LUTs that you can use with a Nikon cameras. These are more creative LUTs. There's a black and white one in there. There's a more bleach bypass one in there. But I think this is beneficial for people who are maybe just getting into video. Maybe they just picked up a Z8 or a Z6 and it's the first time they've used log. They now have these creative LUTs available to them from Nikon. And I think that's really cool, and it's something that is going to continue to expand into the future. And this whole Red acquisition with Nikon is something that has limitless implications, and we'll talk at the end of the video about what I see for the future and why this could be so exciting. Now, all the video you just saw, as well as the photos that you're about to see right now, are shot on the Nikon Z6 III, and the Z6 III is another reason why I think everyone should be paying attention to Nikon in the future. This camera is the most well-rounded photo plus video camera I have used. Like right now on the market, nothing is beating this if you need a multimedia camera. Are there cameras better at photo? Yes. Are there cameras better at video? Yes. But when you combine the two together, no one is touching the Z6 III. Nikon hit a home run with this. And one of my biggest criticisms of Nikon for a long time, and one of the main reasons I switched to Leica for so many years, was the fact that they were not embracing this hybrid multimedia world that we're in. And with the Z6 III, it is clear that they are no longer ignoring people like me and you who make videos as well as photos and do a number of different things. So with the Z6 III, it feels like we're entering a new era of Nikon, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future as they expand on the greatness that they have here. Now, speaking of photo and video, something Nikon has done really well with the Z6 III as well as the rest of their lineup is embrace what's coming in the future, this multimedia world that we're in, without forgetting the past. You see, Nikon has always been known as this stellar photo camera. They've been known in the photojournalism world. They've been known in the landscape as well as the bird photography world. And there's a lot of people who continue to enjoy those things with photography. So Nikon has done a great job of setting up a lineup that caters to people like you and me who are more in the multimedia space, as well as people who are hardcore photographers and they need a very specific photography tool. The Z8 for me checks all the boxes when it comes to what you need in a photo camera, and I've used the Z9 as well, which is absolutely fantastic, except for someone like me, the price tag is just way too high, and it's a pretty big camera. I don't really need all that, but I just love the fact that Nikon is embracing multimedia and potential social media uses for their cameras, all the hybrid things that I already mentioned, while not forgetting about photography and the Nikon purists and where they came from. They're doing a great job of continuing their brand lineage while stepping into the future. Now, speaking of moving into the future, one cool thing that's happening with Nikon that's kind of going under the radar is the fact that Nikon is having to reintroduce lenses for their Z mount. Nikon had a full lineup of lenses for their previous F mount, and now with the Z mount, you're seeing new versions of classic lenses. And they're doing a great job of mixing the more consumer, lower priced lenses with these high-end S lenses. Now, what's really cool about this new lineup emerging is the fact that you're getting modern technology in lenses that are just coming out. For example, this 14 to 24 millimeter was one of my favorites on F mount, and the Z mount version that is newer is so much lighter, so much smaller, and it takes a filter. So this right here is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Because Nikon has switched their mount, they're re-releasing lenses with all the latest technology that you can have. So anything that comes out from Nikon in the next couple years is going to be a lens that you know you can purchase and you're not going to have to replace, or a better version is not going to come out anytime soon. Now, before I get into the last thing that I want to talk about, I want to thank today's sponsor, Professional Photographers of America. So PPA, also known as Professional Photographers of America, gives me peace of mind when I'm using any of this camera gear that I invest my hard-earned money into. When you're going out and shooting in less than ideal situations, maybe you're traveling, maybe you're just bringing a lot of camera gear with you, there is a lot of potential for things to go wrong. And with PPA, I know I have up to $15,000 of gear insurance at a low monthly price. PPA also offers full gear replacement options with a flat $350 deductible, and on top of that, they have great data recovery options. So maybe you travel with hard drives, or you bring lacy drives with you when you're on location. If one of those drives crashes, PPA can help you recover all that data. And on top of that, PPA does a bunch of great things for the photography community, like having different events that you can see on the website. They also have business resources like model releases and cancellation letters that you have access to as a member of PPA. And PPA is hooking up the channel with a very special offer. You can go to the link in the description down below and save $25 on a PPA membership and have peace of mind when it comes to your camera equipment, and get access to all those amazing tools that PPA has to offer. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, PPA, also known as Professional Photographers of America, is where you need to be. So here it is, the last reason why everyone should be paying attention to Nikon, and this is me speculating here, that's why I saved it for the end of the video, but with the acquisition of RED cameras, Nikon now has the ability to basically do whatever they want in the cinema world. Cinema technology can now be moved into their cameras, so we could see an uptick in the quality of video specifications in Nikon cameras. We could actually get a Nikon cinema camera, which would be crazy, especially with the fact that that would work with all the Z-mount lenses that I was praising, this lineup that is emerging. And in the future, we could get RED cameras that actually have Z-mount as well. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of work on the back end for that, for a company like Nikon to create all these cameras with a different mount, so I wouldn't expect to see that anytime soon. But personally, I love the fact that we now have a cinema reputable brand who has the ability to work with Nikon and create a completely new lineup of cameras that we've never seen from Nikon before. Now, I don't want to touch on that too much just because it's me speculating, but you can't help but get excited at the fact that maybe we could see a Nikon cinema camera in the future, and know that there is some of everything going on with RED baked into that camera. So we'll see if that actually happens. For now, we have all these other great things coming out from Nikon and all these great reasons to embrace them. That is the main reason why I switched to the brand and left Leica. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments as well. Any engagement is engagement. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are not yet. And one last thank you to Professional Photographers of America for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see y'all next time.